Hey guys, how's it going? It's Blu-rayDave, and welcome to FNAF Day. I don't know if I should say welcome, but like happy FNAF Day though, guys. Either or. So of course, as I'm thinking about what kind of FNAF videos I want to make today, I figured like why don't I just talk about a little bit of my experiences with the Fazbear Frights books. Yep, that series started all the way back in 2020. I gotta say, I feel like not only the VHS tapes that were popular, like it was mostly Scrimpus McGrimpus, but I feel like the books also brought the hype up back for FNAF because I'm gonna be honest, like as much as like I try to like stay committed to the franchise after like 2015, 16 maybe, it was hard. And of course, being a minor at the time, I couldn't like buy any FNAF stuff because my family was strict. But you know, I was 19 when these books came out, right? Oh man. Literally, the first piece of FNAF book media I bought was actually the first graphic novel of the Silver Eyes trilogy. That was pretty cool. And then afterwards, I bought the rest of the books, like whatever I could get my hands on. Oh, something fell behind me. Remote. I was even surprised, like, how long the stories are. And none of them have chapters, so I came up with this system, like, you know what? I'm going to mark down each story, like, how many pages there are. And if... there shouldn't be any cuss words in these books, right? Because you know how Scott is. So I just, well, they don't use the extreme ones, you know, but I just like write them out and all that. And then thank God Scott added like extra blank white pages. So like, I bet you he didn't know that if people were interested, they would write down their opinions about the story. So I did that, right? I did that. Yeah, those books really did help me out for the last 3 summers. Well, last summer, I picked up a lot of books, right? But they weren't Fazbear Frights, but, you know what? I guess it's safe to say that it was good for me to take a year break from reading the books because at the same time, they were really kind of stressful because I was just trying to get caught up with everything, right? And like again with Daco, like I didn't watch every episode, but like he covered the stories and he really helped out a lot with the specific details because I can't wait when they release more of the graphic novels. Like the first 2 are out as far as I know as of the making this video, right? And some stories in the books, they were pretty short. And sometimes I would read a book in one sitting. Like it was on a rare occasion. Like, if there was one book that had 3 short stories, and I'll read them in one day. And of course, those books also helped me out at my work. Because back in the day when I took, like, the closing shifts, and when it was dead quiet, I would always just bring my books with me and just, you know, bring one to the cash register and just read them. And then some of the customers and my coworkers were impressed or like what I was reading. And so some customers thought I was like studying for school. Like, in a way, it feels like I'm studying for like a FNAF school assignment. Like, oh my gosh, how fun would it have been if in my high school, like the Silver Eyes trilogy was already out, right? And depending on which grade I was when they stopped making them, like, I would have loved having an English class, you know, reading the books and being dedicated to, like, do hours upon hours of research and homework and all that. Like, that would have been a really fun homework assignment, guys. Honestly, like, I really hope that schools are doing that. Like, of course, I am aware that, some schools, they still have kids, like, you know, read a book, and then they have to write down stuff, right? But I am talking about with Five Nights at Freddy's here, guys. Wouldn't that be cool? Seriously, wouldn't it be fun to attend a Five Nights at Freddy's school? Like, it could literally be for anybody. Like, it doesn't even have to be a college. Like, Imagine Scott was the principal. Oh, man. It took me a long time, though, to read Fetch, because how long that story was. I would love to see it in a film form, guys. Like, even if somebody were to make, like, a fan film of that, like, that'd be great. November 2021 was when I finished the second to last book, which was book 11, right? And I believe 21 was when that 12-pack came out, right? Yeah. And believe me, guys, I was doing my best, trying my best to get that pack in the last year since then, but I couldn't. But thank God a few months ago I did. Like, that book is extremely important. You gotta have it physically. But if you like the digital stuff, that's cool too. I'm just saying, as a committed FNAF fan, like, I feel like you need to have everything physically, no matter what it is. Yes, there's even an unofficial FNAF book that I got from Walmart last Easter. I haven't read through the whole book, but from what I could tell with the book, from what I've read a little bit, like, pretty good so far. Seriously, I would literally pick up any unofficial stuff for FNAF. You know, like, the fans, like, they know what they're doing. They pour their heart out with this stuff, and it's just great. And I was curious and concerned, like, oh man, with all 12 books out of the way, what is Scott gonna do with future stories? But thank God with the Pizzaplex, you know, we have more stories, and we know that they're part of the main canon. I'm pretty sure when Scott is done with that series, I'm pretty sure he's gonna make a dozen out of that series to it. I feel like he's gonna have another series to make. Can you imagine? Okay, we all know that the movie is canon to the game lore, right? But, like, I know that Blumhouse wants to do, like horror movie video games, and FNAF is going to be one of them. But can you imagine if Scott made a series that was based off of the movie, or movies, I should say? Well, I feel like that could be a way to, like, if new people have never played the games before, just hear me out, guys. If new people have never played the games before, they want to know more about FNAF, but if they like to read a lot, I feel like Scott would retell the story in book form, but I feel like he would have to tell it in the correct way, how he wanted it to be, because FNAF 4 is really the first one in the series, right? And Security Breach is like the last one, let's say. I don't know how long Scott is going to extend the story, but keep bringing on more stories as long as, like, you know, he knows how to make good stories, and I'm there for it. I hate it when toxic people, really, they accuse Scott for, like, cash cowing the franchise, like, milking it. Like, no. And besides, he's got a family to provide, so how is that milking the franchise, right? He even said in his interview with Daco, like, he wasn't very impressed with some of the stuff that he did. Like, he listened to criticisms. Like, I thought for sure FNAF 3 was going to be the last one, but then when FNAF 4 came out, I thought for sure that was going to be the last one. I mean, with FNAF 4, yes, there's a lot of lore in it. It's pretty good. Yeah. Scott, I know that you're busy right now, especially with the movie, but everyone else and I can agree in the community that we just need one more game, and that is FNAF Origins. So, Security Breach is really FNAF 7, so make FNAF 8. Make FNAF Origins. We want to know what happened at the original restaurant. And it also got me thinking, like, should Scott make a two-parter to that? Like, because we all want to see the withered animatronics unwithered, right? So what if he could make it somewhat of a DLC with Security Breach, right? Like, make FNAF Origins, but make kind of like a DLC to the game where we're in that era after Fazbear's Family Freddy's Family Diner. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of brain dead with that right now. It's a little confusing, right? Fredbear's Family Diner. Yep. There we go. But again, it's up to Scott what he wants to do with future books after Tales of the Pizzaplex, because I really did enjoy Security Breach. Ruin, not as much, but, you know, again, it's good for extra stories, you know. But there was a lot of unanswered questions, and I don't know if it's safe to say that if Scott wants to make another game or another DLC to add to that, like, I don't know. I don't know. Again, as long as it's good, right? Everyone in the FNAF community can agree that as long as it's good, then he has every right to make another game, right? Seriously, I feel like FNAF Origins should be a personal experience for Scott. Like, he needs to make that on his own, right? Of course, with a little bit of help, but at the end of the day, we all know that we need Scott to make it by himself, honestly. It's just the way it is. But I know in this first movie they're going to show of that backstory. Like, I can't wait. 2 months left till the party, guys. Let's go. All in all, the Fazbear Frights books are pretty great. There are some that are better than others, of course. I honestly wish that they didn't break the fourth wall a few times in these stories. Like, you can't, like, in the canon lore, you can't really call it Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Like, that's just the part that's really confusing to me, especially as a fan. But maybe one day I'll learn to just accept it for the way it is. Like, I don't know. But Felix the Shark, the book, it was definitely worth the read. Like, especially the last book, You're the Band. Because, again, I love those kinds of stories, you know. Alright, guys, that's pretty much what I have to cover in this episode. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the post notification bell to share my content if you haven't already. And I'm not sure, I guess, how many more FNAF videos I'll make tonight. But if this is the last one, I apologize, guys. It's just I'm kind of running out of ideas. Like, again, I don't want to be forced to make any content, especially stuff that I don't like. But I felt like this one was, you know, worth talking about. And, like, tell me, guys, how old were you when the books came out, and when did you actually start the books, or are actually starting them now? Again, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for letting me. The Lord be with you guys. Always love you guys. Peace out, guys.